The Buffalo Sabres are hockey's second highest scoring team. They are an exciting, explosive collection of slick, accurate shooters, and they can skate with the wind. But so far in this best-of-7 Stanley Cup Final Series, they have scored only 2 goals and trail the champion Philadelphia Flyers 2-0 as they prepare to play Game 3 in Buffalo's warm and humid Memorial Auditorium. The orange-jerseyed Flyers have reached the top of the National Hockey League with their tight, close-checking style that never stops moving. And once they get a lead, they rely on their goalie, 2-time Vezina Trophy winner Bernie Perron, and the best overall team defense in the league to carry the rest of the way. They always seem ready to pounce on the other team's mistakes, as they do here only 39 seconds into the game, as Gary Dornhofer gives Philadelphia a quick 1-goal lead. The replay shows how they stay with the puck and take advantage of every advantage. Buffalo has 10 players who scored 20 or more goals during the regular season, including their famous French connection line of Gilles Perreault, Rick Martin, and René Robert, who together had 131 goals. And if the Sabres were going to keep Philadelphia from taking a 3-game lead in this series, they would somehow have to find a way to solve the Flyers' defensive riddle. But a little over 2 minutes later, Philadelphia scores again. The replay shows Don Selesky's long shot from the blue line slipped past Buffalo's goalie Jerry Desjardins, and Philadelphia now goes ahead 2-0. Sabre fans have good reason to worry, because staking the Flyers to a 2-goal lead in a Stanley Cup game is like giving Willie Sutton half the combination to your vault. One of the reasons the Flyers are so good at protecting the goal cage at their end of the ice is because they are masters at keeping the other team constantly bottled up in their end. And when the puck does get over their blue line, they're quick to get control, to keep their opponents from forming a cohesive attack, consistently breaking up their passes and forcing the action back the other way. But almost halfway through the first period, with Philadelphia's Bob Kelly already in the penalty box, Buffalo gets a 2-man power play advantage as referee Lloyd Gilmore blows his whistle again, and Flyer defenseman Andre Dupont goes off the ice for charging, as Philadelphia will skate only 3 men to Buffalo's 5 for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Flyer goalie Bernie Perron faced the same situation in Game 1 of this series, stopping the Sabres on shot after shot. And it seemed then to take the heart out of this young Buffalo team, so used to seeing red lights flash on when they have the opposition at such a disadvantage. And now with their best shooters on the ice, they came at it again and again, firing away when they thought they found an opening, or working slowly, deliberately to set up an open man when the Flyers spread their defense, skating around to block the Buffalo passing lane. But this time, too, the Sabres found only frustration as the undermanned Flyers kept them from scoring with their ability to move in front of their goalie, to protect him with their bodies, and with Perron's swift acrobatics in front of his net. And the score holds. But the Buffalo Sabres didn't get this close to the Stanley Cup without going through all the pressures and all the work that proved they belonged here. Another of the expansion teams that seemed to reach maturity this past season, the Sabres finished first in their division, that beat the Chicago Blackhawks in a quarterfinal series before sweeping past the Montreal Canadiens in the semifinals to earn this shot at their first championship. And now with both sides even again, Buffalo's rookie right wing Danny Gare, rapidly gaining a reputation for scoring clutch goals, backhands a shot past Perron, and that Philadelphia lead is cut to 1. Buffalo has been able to score goals in clusters, averaging almost 5 a game. And only 17 seconds later, Rick Martin, coming off his second straight 52-goal season, fires an off-balance shot from in close and ties the score at 2-2. Scoring bursts like that have rattled Sabre opponents before. But Philadelphia's coach Fred Shiro has a well-disciplined hockey club that gets itself settled down fast and works quickly to move back on the offensive. And before Buffalo has a chance to continue its surge, the Flyers' Rick McLeish swoops around the defense and gives Philadelphia the lead once more. From another angle, we see McLeish hold his shot long enough to make sure he had the angle, and his goal sends the game's momentum back to the Flyers as the Sabres once again find themselves in the position of having to chase a Philadelphia team that is always tough when it has the lead. The game now becomes an offensive tug of war as both teams accelerate and the action shifts from one end of the rink to the other, with each team getting its chances, but neither being able to pull away. And as the game moves into a second period, Bernie Perron returns to his cage, but the Sabres will have a new goaltender in front of their net. Roger Crozier, a veteran with the most Stanley Cup experience on the Buffalo club, and the winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy 10 years ago as the most valuable player in the 1965 playoffs. And only 29 seconds into the period, his team gives him a tie game to protect as Don Luce pokes in Buffalo's third goal. The replay shows how Luce grabs the puck after it bounces off a defenseman's skate and shoves it past Perron before he could cover up on the short side. Once again, the Buffalo fans have watched their club even the score to keep alive their dream of seeing the Sabres, a patchwork expansion team only 5 years ago, win the Stanley Cup. Then something else begins to happen that adds to the dreamlike quality of their fantasy taking place below, as the warmth and humidity in the arena have caused a layer of fog to gather and swirl along the cold surface of the ice, and soon the players seem to be skating on soft cushions of mist, floating along the ice without really touching it. But reality returns suddenly when Reggie Leach tips in a rebound to send Philadelphia ahead once more, 4-3. And by the third period, the players are like party balloons playing hide-and-seek in the clouds, bobbing in and out of each other's vision as the fog blankets the ice, and the game becomes a surreal ballet performed by graceful images on a puffy white stage. Times before the end of this game, play is stopped while both teams skate around in tight circles at either end of the rink, causing drafts that temporarily lift the fog. But it won't go away, and with so much at stake, everyone becomes especially cautious as the pressure climbs along with the temperature. The minutes are slipping by for the Sabres, and while both teams must play defense against a puck that sometimes is invisible, they need a goal to keep from losing their third straight playoff game to Philadelphia, a team they have not beaten since March 28, 1973. The third period is gone. The heat has wilted everyone on the ice, soaking their uniforms and adding extra pounds of moist weight. And skating on the soft surface is like running in wet sand. But the Sabres keep coming through the fog, and suddenly Rick Martin breaks in alone on Perron. His shot is stopped, but teammate Bill Height bangs in the rebound, and for the third time in this game, the Sabres have tied the score. The Flyers had breezed through their quarterfinal series with the Toronto Maple Leafs, winning 4 straight. But then came a surprisingly tough semifinal against the New York Islanders, and Philadelphia was forced into the full 7 games by losing 3 in a row after winning the first 3 against the NHL Cinderella team. And after taking the first 2 games against Buffalo, they were looking forward to a short series. But as lead after lead slipped away in this game and the unusual heat sapped their strength, it no longer looked like the last step on the road to their second Stanley Cup would be any easier than any of the others. Last year in Game 2 of their final series with the Boston Bruins, the Flyers tied it up near the end and went on to win in overtime. That victory gave them new confidence that they could go on to take the cup, and they did. They didn't want to give Buffalo the same chance now, but as the last seconds ticked away, it seemed like sudden death overtime with its heavy price for any mistake was facing them again. There's something magical about a playoff game that goes into overtime, especially in the final round. The pressure on both teams has become equal, and even the home crowd's constant cheering can no longer be considered an extra advantage, with the intensity of the players' concentrations increasing as each minute, each rush down the ice goes by without a goal. But for one player tonight, the magic will become almost unbearable. One skater who can't possibly know until it happens that he is about to become an instant hero. The heat and the fog continue. The leg-weary skaters have played 18 minutes of the overtime period, with each team taking a half-dozen shots on goal. But the game goes on. There will be a winner here tonight, but no one knows who it will be. There will be a hero here tonight, but no one yet knows his name.
Around comes to Rick Martin, up ahead for Perro. Perro coming to center, dumps it off the boards in the corner. Robert going after it. He scores! And the Sabres win it again in overtime. Off the boards in the corner, Robert pounded it between the legs of Bertie Perrott. And the Buffalo Sabres are right back in the Stanley Cup final, winning here 5-4.